Ever find yourself at a party, standing near the snacks, watching a group of people laugh at a joke you didn't quite catch? You're not scrolling on your phone to be rude. You're not socially awkward in the way the movies portray it, tripping over your own feet or stuttering. You're just standing there, taking it all in. You're looking at the way the host keeps adjusting their watch, or how the person telling the story keeps looking at one specific friend for approval. To everyone else, you're just a background character in their scene. But in your head, you're the director, the lead investigator, and the person writing the footnotes all at once. People might think you're shy or bored or maybe even a little bit judgmental. But here's the thing, that silence isn't an absence of thought. It's a massive, high-speed data download. There is a deep, often misunderstood psychology behind the people who observe before they join. It's not just about being quiet. It's about a specific way of processing the world. So let's peel back the curtain and look at what's actually happening inside that quiet head. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the person you've been trying to bring out of their shell for years. Either way, once you see the patterns, you'll realize that the quietest person in the room is often the one seeing the most. Let's start with the first type, the social architect. Imagine walking into a room where a heated debate is happening. Most people jump in immediately with a "well, actually," or a joke to lighten the mood. But the social architect stands on the perimeter. They aren't listening to the words as much as they are listening to the rhythm. They are checking the social temperature. Is this a safe space for a joke? Who holds the power in this circle? If I say something now, will I be interrupting a flow that started 10 minutes ago? Psychologically, these observers have a high level of social monitoring. They view a conversation like a moving jump rope. They aren't going to hop in until they've timed the swings perfectly. They want to ensure their contribution adds value rather than friction. It's a survival mechanism disguised as patience. They don't want to just speak, they want to land. If you've ever waited 20 minutes to say one perfect sentence that made everyone stop and think, you're likely an architect. You aren't afraid of the group. You just respect the architecture of the conversation too much to break it. Then there's a slightly different flavor of observer, the empathic scanner. This person is looking for the glitch in the matrix. You know the feeling. You're in a group, everyone is smiling, but you notice that one person's smile doesn't reach their eyes. Or you notice that every time a certain topic comes up, your friend's posture slightly stiffens. The scanner stays quiet because they are busy reading the subtitles that no one else can see. For the scanner, words are often the least honest part of a human interaction. They are watching micro-expressions, tone shifts, and the vibe of the room. Their brain is a finely tuned instrument for emotional resonance. If they joined the conversation too early, they'd lose the signal. They need the silence to process the heavy emotional data coming off of everyone else. By the time they finally speak, they usually don't talk about the weather or the news. They ask the one question that cuts right through the noise. Hey, are you actually doing okay today? But here's the twist. Not every observer is looking outward. Sometimes the observation is a defense against the internal editor. This is the person who is currently in a high-stakes wrestling match with their own brain. You ask them a question, and they look at you, blink, and stay silent for 3 seconds too long. In those 3 seconds, their internal editor has already written 3 different versions of a response. Check them for potential misunderstandings. Ran a quick "will this sound stupid" diagnostic, and realized the window of opportunity is already closed. Psychologically, this is often linked to a high need for precision. These people treat words like a finite resource. They don't want to try out an idea. They want to present a finished product. To them, a conversation isn't a casual sketch. It's a formal painting. If they can't get the stroke right the first time, they'd rather keep the canvas covered. It looks like hesitation, but it's actually a deep form of perfectionism. If you've ever typed a 3-paragraph text, deleted it, and just sent a thumbs-up emoji, the editor is definitely in charge of your social life. Finally, we have the information sponge. This type is perhaps the most dangerous and the most fascinating. They don't stay quiet because they're nervous or because they're checking the vibes. They stay quiet because they realize that as long as they aren't talking, they are winning. Talking is giving away information. Listening is receiving it. The sponge is the person at the meeting who lets everyone else argue for 40 minutes, taking mental notes on everyone's positions, weaknesses, and hidden agendas. They are gathering intel. Their psychology is rooted in a deep curiosity and a strategic mindset. They know that the person who speaks first sets the stage, but the person who speaks last owns the conclusion. They aren't joining the conversation. They are waiting to wrap it up. So why does this matter? Because we live in a world that screams. We are taught that leadership is about being the loudest, and that confidence is the ability to fill every silence with noise. We treat the observer as someone who is missing out, or someone who needs to be fixed. But the truth is, the world needs the people who wait. It needs the people who see the micro expression, the person who times the jump rope swing, the person who edits for kindness, and the person who gathers the facts before forming an opinion. If you're the one standing by the snacks, watching the room, don't feel like you're failing at being social. You're just operating on a different frequency. You're noticing the things the talkers are too busy to see. And if you're the talker, maybe next time, try looking at the person who hasn't said a word yet. Don't try to pull them into your story. Instead, try to imagine the documentary they're currently filming in their head. Which one are you? Are you the architect, timing your entrance? The scanner, reading the subtitles? The editor, polishing your thoughts until they disappear? Or the sponge, quietly collecting the world? Whatever your style, remember, the pause isn't a hole in the conversation. It's where the real understanding lives. If this made you feel a little less weird for being the quiet one, or helped you understand that one mysterious friend, stick around. We're just starting to scratch the surface of why we do the things we do. And honestly, I've been watching you watch this video, and I think you've got a lot more on your mind than you're letting on.